Welcome to WealthRise Stories, where clarity meets knowledge, and knowledge becomes financial power.
Welcome to WealthRise Stories. Today, we're about to begin a journey that I truly believe will change a lot about the way you think, especially about a topic every single one of us cares about: money. But before we talk about how to make money, something millions of books and videos have already covered, I want to ask you a question. A question we often avoid or simply don't dare to think about. If money can't buy happiness, then why do we crave it so much? Why do we spend our entire lives chasing it, sacrificing our health, our time, even our relationships for something everyone keeps saying isn't everything? Sounds philosophical, doesn't it? But let's be honest with ourselves. Have you ever felt that relentless desire to have more money, believing that once you hit some magic number, some X, your problems will disappear and happiness will suddenly knock on your door? Let me be blunt. Most of what you think about money, about getting rich, about the very purpose of making money, is wrong. I know that might sound shocking. You're probably thinking, what is this guy talking about? Are you saying money isn't important? No. Money is important. It's a tool. The problem is, we've confused the tool with the goal. We've turned money from a means into an ultimate destination, an idol we endlessly worship. And that very confusion has pushed countless people into a never-ending spiral of dissatisfaction and emptiness. Let me tell you a personal story. Back when I first started building your channel name or my career, I was also seduced by the idea that if I just make enough money, everything will be fine. I worked like crazy from dawn till midnight, sometimes neglecting the people I loved because I thought I was building a better future, a future money would somehow guarantee. I believed that once I hit a certain financial milestone, I'd finally feel enough, that I'd finally reach some perfect state of happiness. I chased numbers in my bank account, expensive things, luxury experiences. And I did achieve some of those slowly, bit by bit. But strangely, what I felt wasn't peace. It wasn't lasting happiness. It was emptiness. Yes, emptiness. Or worse, a new kind of anxiety, the fear of losing what I had. The fear of not having enough to reach the next goal. I climbed the ladder I had always dreamed of, only to realize once I reached the top that the ladder had been leaning against the wrong wall the whole time. Happiness wasn't there. It was somewhere else entirely. That was the moment I realized I'd been trapped in an illusion our whole society keeps reinforcing. An illusion we're taught from childhood: study hard so you can get a good job, make a high salary. Make money so you can buy a house, buy a car, live a comfortable life. But what does comfortable even mean? And how much is enough? Think about it. Money's like seawater. The more you drink, the thirstier you get. You might feel full or satisfied for a moment, but it's temporary. It doesn't nourish you. It doesn't fill that deeper emptiness inside. The more seawater you drink, the more dehydrated and exhausted you become, craving real fresh water even more desperately. Money works the same way. If your only goal is to earn more, accumulate more, have more and more, you'll be stuck forever in an endless cycle of wanting. The goalpost keeps moving. You buy a house, then you want a bigger one. You buy a car, then you want a nicer one. Your bank balance goes up, but your inner peace shrinks. You always feel lacking, always unfinished, no matter how much you achieve. And that's a race no one can ever win. This video isn't just about how to make money, the strategies, the tools, the cool books, like How to Make Money, that we'll explore together. More importantly, it's about how you define wealth, about the real purpose behind earning money. I can promise you this: by the end of this video, the way you think about wealth, about making money, and even about the value of your own life will be forever changed. You'll stop seeing money as a destination and start seeing it as a powerful tool to build a meaningful, fulfilling life. So are you ready to challenge everything you've believed up until now? Are you ready to look at money through a completely different lens? If yes, then let's dive into how to make money, not just with formulas and strategies, but with a whole new mindset. A mindset that will help you not only make money more effectively, but also live happier, more authentically with what you have and what you create. Let's begin. Today we're going to open up a topic that's probably been sitting in a lot of people's minds, a topic that's fascinating, often exciting, and sometimes even controversial. And that is how to make money. The moment you hear that title, I'm guessing a bunch of images might pop into your head: quick, rich formulas, wave-riding investment tricks, or those magical overnight success secrets. I get it, because I used to think the same way. We're all drawn to the idea of shortcuts, of some miracle solution. But no. If you're here looking for a cheat code or a magic spell that makes money just pour into your account without effort or real understanding, then I have to be honest, this video probably isn't for you. Warm but firm tone. Our goal here is not a quick, rich handbook. This is a journey into the philosophy behind sustainable prosperity, not just financial wealth, but meaning, fulfillment, and true happiness. 1. How to make money, create value, don't chase money. To me, and I hope by the end of this journey to you as well, how to make money is not about chasing money. Money by itself is just a tool, a measurement. It's neutral. What actually matters, what carries lasting value, is your ability to create value. Think of it like this. Money is like the leaves on a tree. If all you ever do is run around picking up fallen leaves, all you'll end up with is a pile of dry, temporary scraps. But if you focus on nurturing the tree, its roots, its soil, its growth, the fresh leaves will grow naturally. And eventually, so will the fruit. So what does creating value actually mean? It means producing something useful, solving a problem, bringing joy, knowledge, convenience, or relief to someone else. When you genuinely create value, when you make someone's life better, money stops being something you have to chase. It becomes a natural result, a fair exchange, a meaningful recognition of the contribution you've made. 2. A personal perspective. Money is a byproduct of a purposeful life. This is a personal belief of mine. Something I've reflected on many, many times throughout my journey as an entrepreneur and as a human being. Slow, sincere tone. I believe that money and prosperity in general is a natural byproduct. It's the byproduct of a life lived with purpose, of relentless dedication, and of genuinely caring about the people around you. Think about it. When you're passionate about something, when you pour yourself into doing your best, not just for money, but because you want to create something meaningful, help someone, or make a difference, opportunities naturally open up. The right people find you, and money becomes an inevitable outcome. Money is not the final destination. It's the resource that helps you fulfill your purpose, helping you give more, do more, and live more freely. It's the energy that fuels your mission, not the finish line. 3. 10 chapters, a journey of mindset transformation. That's why this video isn't some dry financial lecture or a list of business tricks. It's a journey, an exploration of the philosophy behind sustainable wealth, behind meaning, behind a fulfilled life. And to complete this journey, we'll walk through 10 chapters together. Each chapter is a puzzle piece, a fresh perspective, to help you redefine your relationship with money, with your work, with yourself, and with the world around you. We'll start by transforming your mindset, by understanding your core values, and then move into practical steps that help you bring your value into reality. This is a journey of inner transformation, a foundation that allows you not just to make money, but to live money in the most meaningful way possible. We'll learn how to plant the seeds of value and harvest the fruit of sustainable prosperity. 4. A map, not a lottery ticket. Finally, I want to promise you something. This video won't hand you a winning lottery ticket that magically solves everything overnight. Life doesn't work like that, but it will give you a map, emphasizing a detailed map drawn from real experiences, real lessons, and yes, real mistakes from myself and from people who've truly succeeded. This map will help you discover your own path, the path that aligns with your values, your passions, and your purpose. It will guide you step by step toward building wealth in a sustainable, meaningful, empowering way. It will equip you with the tools and the mindset to stop feeling lost or dependent on luck, and instead become the true creator of your own life. Are you ready? Let's begin this journey together. This journey of redefining wealth. A journey that won't just enrich your bank account, but your mind, your spirit, and your entire life. Because at the end of the day, that's what making money is really about, isn't it? See you in Chapter 1. The title of the book sounds practical, doesn't it? A lot of people are probably thinking, finally someone's going to talk about stock investing, real estate, or online business secrets. And I get it, because I used to think the same way. I used to obsessively search for those external tricks, those get-rich-quick secrets. I read book after book, skills, markets, business models, you name it. But strangely enough, no matter how much I learned or how many methods I tried, I still felt stuck until I realized something so important that it completely changed the way I saw everything. The financial battle, like any battle in life, doesn't really start at the bank or in the stock market or in some business venture. It starts right here in your mind. That's right. Chapter 1 of this prosperity journey isn't about money at all. It's about mindset. We're going to dig into the psychological foundation of wealth because every financial success or failure is first decided in your head. 1. Breaking limiting beliefs about money. Have you ever heard phrases like, "Money is the root of all evil"? "Rich people are greedy and ruthless." "Making honest money is hard. You have to suffer for it." I bet you've heard at least one of those. Maybe you even believed a tiny slice of it somewhere deep in your subconscious. I did too. Growing up in a society where money stories were often tied to negativity, I unknowingly built an invisible wall between myself and wealth. I thought I had to choose, either be good and poor or rich and morally compromised. Naturally, I chose to be good. But that choice subconsciously made me fear money, fear wealth, fear becoming someone I wasn't. It made me limit my own earning potential without even realizing it. But think about it for a second. Money isn't good or bad. It's just a tool, just like a knife. A knife can save a life in surgery, prepare a beautiful meal, or it can hurt someone. The knife isn't to blame, it's the person holding it. Money works the same way. It can build schools, hospitals, fund research, help families, or it can feed greed, war, and destruction. The problem isn't money, it's the mindset of the person who controls it. So the first step to opening the door to prosperity is to confront and break these limiting beliefs. Start questioning the things you've always assumed about money. Money isn't evil. Money doesn't define your worth. Money is a tool, one that allows you to bring your dreams to life, create options, make an impact. Once you free your mind from those mental chains, you'll notice the path to earning money becomes far more open and surprisingly easier. 2. The abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset. These are two incredibly important concepts that shape most of your financial decisions and your results. The scarcity mindset. This is the mindset most of us were programmed with. It says resources are limited. There's only one slice of the pie, and if someone else gets a bigger slice, yours must shrink. People with a scarcity mindset live in fear, worry, jealousy. They see the world as a brutal competition, a zero-sum game. You can easily recognize scarcity thinking. You feel irritated or jealous when someone succeeds. You avoid sharing knowledge because you're afraid others will surpass you. You constantly worry about not having enough money, time, opportunities. You focus on what's missing instead of what you have. You hoard, you hesitate, you avoid investing or taking risks. The abundance mindset. This mindset says the world is full of opportunities, more than enough for everyone. People with abundance thinking see possibilities, not problems. They believe in collaboration, not blind competition. They understand that someone else's success doesn't threaten theirs, it can inspire it. People with an abundance mindset celebrate other people's success, freely share and collaborate, believing the more you give, the more you receive. Look for solutions in every situation. Focus on creativity, innovation, and value creation. Are willing to invest in themselves and in meaningful ideas. These two mindsets create two entirely different worlds. One is filled with joy, optimism, connection, and opportunity. The other is filled with fear, isolation, and limitation. So how do you shift from one to the other? Through awareness and practice. Recognize when scarcity shows up. When you feel jealousy, fear, or anxiety about not having enough, pause and ask yourself, is it really true that there isn't enough? Or am I just seeing things from a limited point of view? Focus on what you can do, not what you can't. Practice gratitude daily. It will help you see how much abundance already exists in your life. 3. The power of patience and long-term vision. In the age of instant information, everyone wants to get rich fast. We're drawn to overnight success stories and million-dollar deals that happen in a flash. And get-rich-quick courses pop up everywhere. I'm not saying they're all useless, but most of them ignore the most important factor: time and patience. Almost every form of sustainable wealth is built on long-term thinking and patience. It's like planting a tree. You don't put a seed in the ground today and expect fruit tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, protect it from storms, and wait for the right season. Warren Buffett famously said, "You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant." It's the truth. Some things simply require time. Long-term vision helps you ride out short-term fluctuations. Markets rise and fall. Jobs have ups and downs. But with a 5, 10, 20-year vision, you won't quit so easily. Make wiser decisions. Instead of chasing quick gains, you invest in things with lasting value. Harness the power of compound growth. Whether in finance or in skill-building, compound growth requires time to work its magic. I used to be extremely impatient. If a project didn't make money in a few months, I'd drop it and move to the next one. I kept jumping from boat to boat, and of course, I never reached the shore. Everything changed when I started setting long-term goals, breaking them into small steps, and committing to the process, even when it felt slow. Remember, wealth isn't a destination, it's a journey. And on that journey, patience is your greatest ally. 4. Introducing the concept of your internal financial thermostat. Here's a fascinating concept. You may have never heard of your internal financial thermostat. Just like the thermostat in your home, if you set it to 77 degrees and the room heats up to 80 degrees, the AC kicks in to cool it down. If the room drops to 74 degrees, the heater turns on to warm it back up. It always pulls the temperature back to whatever baseline you've set. Your brain has a financial thermostat too. Subconsciously, you have a level of wealth you feel comfortable with: your typical income, your savings balance, your overall net worth. If you suddenly exceed that comfort level, say you earn a big windfall or receive an unexpected gift, your internal thermostat may kick in. You'll unconsciously find ways to get rid of the excess, impulsive spending, bad investments, or poor decisions. You feel uncomfortable having too much. On the flip side, if you drop below your comfort level, you may feel anxious, but your subconscious will push you to hustle, work harder, and claw your way back to your safe zone. The issue is, most people have their financial thermostat set way too low. It reflects the scarcity mindset and limiting beliefs we talked about earlier. That's why so many lottery winners go broke in just a few years. They never upgraded their internal thermostat. To truly become prosperous, you need to raise your financial thermostat. Here's how. First, become aware of it. Ask yourself honestly, what level of wealth feels normal to me? Second, expand your comfort zone gradually. Learn about money investing and wealth management. Expose yourself to bigger numbers, bigger ideas. Set slightly higher financial goals. Each milestone you hit naturally raises your baseline. Third, transform your core beliefs. When you believe you deserve wealth, when you see money as a positive tool, when you trust your ability to handle it, your thermostat adjusts upward automatically. You see, the journey to real prosperity isn't just about stock charts or business plans. It's a journey of self-discovery, one that's won or lost internally, long before results show up externally. Before you go digging for gold, study the map inside your mind. Break your mental chains. Cultivate abundance. Be patient with the long-term journey, and gradually upgrade your financial thermostat. I believe you can do it. Take a moment to reflect on what we've talked about today. Start transforming your mindset right now, because this is the root, the foundation of every financial success you'll achieve in the future. In the next chapter, we're going to move beyond mindset and dive into more concrete strategies, practical steps you can take to start building your wealth on top of this solid mental foundation. Thank you for listening and walking this journey with me. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming chapters. See you in Chapter 2. In the previous chapter, we laid the foundation. We realized that money isn't some mysterious thing reserved only for a lucky few. It's a concept, a system. But to truly master that system, we need to go deeper. Today, we're going to touch on a topic that I believe is at the core of all lasting wealth, your core value. Or to put it more bluntly, what are you actually selling to the world? Have you ever really asked yourself, what am I selling to this world? It sounds a bit raw, maybe even uncomfortable. But think about it. Most people, when they think about making money, think only about making money. The more the better. They throw themselves into work and try to increase their income, cut their expenses. That's all fine, but it's just the surface. The truth is, money at the end of the day is simply a medium of value exchange. Picture an ancient marketplace. One person brings juicy apples to sell, another brings beautifully woven fabric. They're not exchanging money, yet they're exchanging value. The apples solve a need for food, the fabric solves a need for clothing. Money was invented later to make that exchange more convenient and flexible. Today, the story is exactly the same. Money doesn't just fall into your pocket out of nowhere. It's a reward for solving a problem, meeting a need, or making someone's life better. You give value, and you receive equivalent value back in the form of money. So instead of asking over and over, how do I make more money, try changing the question to, how do I create value? And what exactly is that value? This is a massive mindset shift. Because when you focus on creating value, especially your unique value, money naturally shows up as a side effect. So how do you figure out what you actually have to trade, what your core value is? There's a simple but incredibly powerful exercise I want you to try right now or right after this video. It's called your unique value Venn diagram. Grab a pen and paper. We're going to draw 3 overlapping circles. Circle 1, your passions. This is what makes you forget to eat and sleep. The thing that when you're doing it, you feel energized, and you don't even see it as work. What do you love doing? What could you spend hours learning or working on without anyone forcing you? It might be storytelling, solving complex problems, caring for plants, helping others, designing beautiful things. Whatever it is, write it down. all of it. Circle 2. Your skills. These are things you're good at, whether naturally or through learning. They can be hard skills like coding, writing, playing music, or soft skills like communicating, leading, solving problems, listening. What do friends or coworkers usually come to you for help with? What do people compliment you on? Don't downplay anything, even if it seems small. List every skill you can think of. Circle 3. Market needs. This is the crucial part that turns your passion and skills into money. What is the world out there missing? What do people want? What problems are they struggling with that you can help solve? Think about complaints you hear all the time, the things people are willing to spend money on, or gaps you notice in society. For example, people want to learn languages but don't have time. Small businesses need effective marketing on a tight budget. Parents want healthy, low-sugar birthday cakes for their kids. People want unique, meaningful gifts. Now look at the magical intersection of those 3 circles. That's where your unique core value lives. That's where your passion and skills meet a real market need, and from there, income can be created. I remember when I was younger, I loved telling stories passion, and I happened to be pretty good at organizing ideas and expressing them clearly skill. At the same time, I noticed that a lot of people wanted to learn and grow, but they found traditional books and lectures too dry and hard to digest market need. That intersection is exactly why I'm here today, telling stories and sharing knowledge in a way I hope is simple, relatable, and engaging for you. You might be thinking, that sounds nice, but is it really true? Just look at people who've achieved extraordinary success. They don't just make money, they create extraordinary value. Steve Jobs didn't just sell phones or computers. He sold simplicity, elegance, personal connection, and the power for people to create through beautifully designed technology. He saw the need for tech that was intuitive and aesthetically pleasing, and his passion and skill allowed him to bring that to life. J.K. Rowling didn't just write books about wizards. She created a rich, immersive universe where millions of people found joy, comfort, escape, and deep lessons about friendship and courage. Her passion for storytelling and her world-building skill met a huge need for meaningful, magical stories. Or a more down-to-earth example. Maybe it's your neighbor, a stay-at-home mom who loves baking passion and skill. She notices that many busy families don't have time to bake birthday cakes for their kids, or they want healthier cakes with natural ingredients, market need. She starts making customized cakes, delicious, beautiful, healthier, and now her small bakery is always busy. They're not just selling products or services. They're selling solutions, experiences, emotions, convenience. That's the value the world is happy to pay for. And here's the key, my friend. The magic phrase you need to engrave in your mind is not, "How do I make more money?" but don't ask how to make money. Ask how to become more valuable. When you focus on increasing your value by deepening your passion, sharpening your skills, and most importantly, solving real problems for real people, money will naturally show up. It becomes a reflection of the value you bring to the world. Take this Venn diagram exercise seriously. Don't rush it. Think deeply about each circle. You might be surprised by what you discover about yourself. This journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. Because when you find and share your core value, you don't just make money. You live a more meaningful, recognized, and fulfilling life. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to turn that core value you've discovered into actual products or services you can sell to the market. We'll start building the bridge from idea to reality. Thank you for listening and sticking with me. Take time to reflect on your value. I truly believe you'll find your own path. And I'll see you in the next chapter. Have you ever felt like you're constantly bouncing from idea to idea, from project to project, without ever really finishing anything meaningful? One day you're obsessed with starting an online business, and the next day, you're fascinated by stock investing, and suddenly you want to learn a brand new skill. Everything looks exciting. Everything looks shiny. If your answer is yes, trust me, you're not alone. And this is exactly the problem we're going to dive into in Chapter 3 of our series on how to make money the power of focus. Dig one well deep. That syndrome I just described is what people in business and personal development often call shiny object syndrome. It sounds funny, but its consequences are anything but. It's like you're driving on a straight road toward your goal, but every 100 meters, another side road pops up with a glittering sign, promising something even better. You turn curious and impatient, only to get lost in a maze of endless choices. In the previous chapter, we talked about having the right mindset around money. But mindset alone won't get you anywhere if you can't focus. It's like building a house on sand. You'll never create anything stable. The real power behind creating wealth, mastering a field, or offering unique value lies in something that seems simple, but in today's noisy world is unbelievably difficult to achieve focus. The 80-20 principle, the gold rule of effectiveness. You've probably heard of the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. Put simply, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. It sounds counterintuitive, but look at your own life and work. 20% of your customers may bring in 80% of your revenue. 20% of your products or services might deliver 80% of your profit. 20% of your daily tasks probably create 80% of your progress. So the real question is, what is your 20%? Which actions, skills, relationships, and areas of focus produce the biggest results? Shiny object syndrome pushes us to scatter 100% of our energy across 100 different things, instead of pouring 100% of our energy into the critical 20%. And that's a deadly mistake on the journey to wealth and mastery. We have to learn to identify and courageously eliminate everything outside that essential 20%. Ask yourself, what task on my list creates the most value? Which skill, if mastered, would make me unstoppable? The deep well metaphor. Let me illustrate the power of focus with a simple image. You're looking for water. You have two choices. Option A, dig 100 holes each 1 meter deep. Option B, dig one well 100 meters deep. Which option gives you the highest chance of finding water? Of course, the 100-meter well. That's exactly how career building and wealth creation work. Most people spend their whole lives digging 100 shallow holes, a little marketing, a little sales, a little coding, a little investing, a little writing. Everything's shallow. Nothing deep enough to reach the underground spring of mastery and real value. But when you dig one deep well, not only do you find water, you understand the soil, the layers of rock, how the water flows. You become an expert. And that depth, that mastery, is what creates sustainable value and income. Why we struggle to focus. The myth of multitasking. One of the biggest reasons we can't stay focused is because we live in the age of multitasking. We actually brag about it, checking email while on a call, while replying to messages, while finishing a report. But the truth is, multitasking doesn't make us more productive. It makes us worse at everything. Science shows that every time we switch tasks, our brain pays a cognitive switching cost. It's like a computer closing one app and opening another. There's lag-wasted energy. And in the world of wealth-building, wasted time, lost money. Multitasking lowers your output, decreases quality, and makes you miss opportunities. You cannot dig a deep well if you keep moving your shovel from one hole to another. The solution: deep work. The solution is a technique introduced by Cal Newport in his best-selling book, Deep Work. Deep work is the ability to focus intensely on a cognitively demanding task, without distractions, allowing you to learn faster, produce higher quality work, and create meaningful results. It's not just a technique. It's a mental state, a superpower in the 21st century. So how do you apply deep work to your career and your money-making journey? How to practice deep work. 1. Create a distraction-free environment. Find a quiet space. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Make your workspace a fortress against distraction. 2. Schedule deep work sessions. Don't wait for inspiration. Put it on your calendar. 2 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon. Treat it like an appointment you cannot skip. 3. Learn to say no. Say no to requests, invitations, and ideas that don't serve your top 20%. This is the hardest skill, but the most important. 4. Train your focus like a muscle. Start with short sessions, then gradually increase. Use techniques like Pomodoro, 25 minutes work, 5 minutes rest to build endurance. My personal story. When I first started this YouTube channel, I was a victim of shiny object syndrome too. I wanted to do everything: videos, blogs, podcasts, social media. And the result, nothing stood out. The quality was average. I was exhausted and going nowhere. Then I asked myself, what is the critical 20% that will grow this channel? The answer: create high-quality, valuable videos that truly serve my audience. So I cut out the noise. I started saying no. I studied scripting. I learned filming. I practiced storytelling. And that's when I began digging my deep well. The channel grew. The audience grew. And most importantly, I felt like I was truly creating value instead of running in circles. So remember, shiny object syndrome is the enemy of wealth. The 80-20 principle shows you where to invest your energy. One deep well beats 100 shallow holes. Multitasking is a productivity illusion. Deep work is the key to building a meaningful, profitable career. Don't be afraid of missing out on shiny opportunities. Because when you dig deep enough in one direction, you'll create diamonds far more valuable than any shiny object. Look at your current path. Look at your projects. Which one is the deep well you truly want to dig? And are you willing to pour your energy into it, despite all the shallow distractions around you? In the next chapter, we'll go deeper into building a solid financial plan and how to turn this focus into real measurable numbers in your bank account. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. Now go start digging your well today. You see, in the previous chapters, we talked about mindset, about discovering your value, about taking the first steps. But honestly, most of us are still stuck in one basic model: trading time for money. You work 8 hours, you get paid for those 8 hours. You stop working, the money stops coming in. This is the active income model. It's like you're carrying buckets of water from the well back to your house. You have to keep walking back and forth, and the moment you get tired, the water stops flowing. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does. A lot of people, myself included in my early years, live exactly like this. We grind, we hustle, we push ourselves thinking the more we work, the more money we'll make. But eventually, we hit a wall, a limit on our time, our energy. And I realized something harsh. If I kept going like that, I would always be a slave to my work, not the owner of my life. So how do we escape that trap? The answer is in 2-word systems. Instead of carrying buckets of water by hand, it's time to build a pipeline. Once the pipeline is built, water flows to your house continuously, even while you're sleeping, traveling, or spending time with the people you love. That's what I mean by building your own money machine, working in your business versus working on your business. This is a critical distinction that many people, especially new entrepreneurs, don't realize. Imagine you're a brilliant chef and you open your own restaurant. Every dish you make is amazing. Customers line up outside. You think, this is great, I'm getting rich. But what happens? You're the only one who can cook those signature dishes. You wake up early to go to the market, you cook, you manage the kitchen, and when it's busy, you might even end up washing dishes yourself. If you get sick or want a vacation, the restaurant has to close. You're working in your business. You're a critical part of it, and that severely limits your ability to grow. Now look at someone who owns a truly successful restaurant. They may not be the best chef, but they know how to design the menu, hire great chefs, train managers, create service systems, and build a strong brand. They're working on their business. They spend their time building systems so the restaurant can run smoothly even when they're not there. See the difference? Our goal is to become the owner, the architect of the system, not just the worker trapped inside it. And to do that, we need to master 3 core concepts: automation, delegation, and leverage. 1. Automation. Automation is using technology or processes to handle repeated tasks without your direct involvement. Imagine this. You run an online store. Instead of manually sending order confirmation emails, a system does it automatically. Instead of posting manually on Facebook every day, scheduling tools do it for you. Concrete examples: email marketing tools like MailChimp ConvertKit that send automated email sequences to nurture your customers. E-commerce platforms like Shopify that automatically process orders and track inventory. Social media schedulers like Buffer Hootsuite that keep your online presence active without your daily effort. Benefits: saves time, reduces errors, keeps things consistent, and works 24/7. Automation turns repetitive, boring tasks into gears that spin by themselves inside your money machine. Zur Delegation. Delegation is the art and science of handing off work to other people. A lot of people hate delegating. They think it'll be faster if I do it myself, or no one can do it as well as I can. That mindset is a trap. If you want to grow, you simply cannot do everything. Look at your daily tasks. How many of them could be done just as well or even better by someone else? Things like video editing, thumbnail or graphic design, answering basic emails, data entry, market research. Examples: hiring a virtual assistant VA to manage your calendar and schedule, hiring freelancers on platforms like Upwork or Fiverr for tasks like logo design, copywriting, translation, bringing on full-time employees when your business is big enough. Benefits delegation frees you from low-value, time-consuming tasks that don't require your unique abilities. It lets you focus on the high-value work only you can do. Delegation is about trusting others so you can multiply your own impact. 3. Leverage. Leverage is the ability to create results far bigger than the effort you put in. It's like using a lever to lift a massive rock. Leverage can come from money investment, knowledge learning from others, technology software, and most importantly, other people's time and skills. Examples: creating an online course. You invest time and effort once to create it, but hundreds or thousands of students can buy it and learn from it, generating income long after you've finished recording. That's leverage on your time and knowledge. Writing a book. Same idea. You write it once, and it continues to sell and impact people for years. Building software. One software system can automate processes for thousands of customers. Investing your money works for you, generating interest or returns without you trading your time. Benefits leverage lets you achieve non-linear growth. You don't get just double the result for double the effort. You can put in double the effort and get 10x or 100x the result. Leverage is how you escape the limits of your own time and energy. Examples of systems that create passive or scalable income. So what kind of systems can we actually build? Let's look at a few. 1. Building a personal brand and content platform. This is exactly what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. And it's something you can do too. You create valuable content videos, blogs, podcasts once. But the content can reach thousands, even millions of people over time. How it works? Your content attracts an audience and builds trust. Then you can earn money from ads, sponsorships, your own products, services like courses or ebooks, or affiliate marketing. Where's the system in your process? Researching topics, producing content, optimizing for search, engaging with your audience, promoting videos. You can automate posting, delegate editing, and design, and your content itself becomes leverage. 2. Creating digital assets. This is one of the clearest paths to passive income. Examples: online courses. Package your expertise, once, sell repeatedly. Ebooks. Write once, sell over and over. Stock photos, videos, music. If you're creative, you can upload your work to stock platforms and earn royalties each time someone downloads software or apps. Build it once, and it can serve thousands through licenses or subscriptions. Where's the system in distribution and sales platforms, payment processing delivery, and basic customer support? You create the product once, and the system helps you sell it. 3. Investing. This is the most hands-off form of income once it's set up. Your money works for you. Examples: stocks and ETFs, mutual funds. You buy shares of companies or funds and earn from dividends and long-term growth. Rental real estate. You buy a property and rent it out for monthly income. Management can be outsourced. Investing in businesses. Becoming an angel investor or partner in startups. Where's the system in your research process, your investment strategy, your portfolio management, and in the financial markets themselves? The ultimate goal: buy back your time. Friends, building systems isn't only about making more money. It's about buying back your time. Time is your most precious asset. When your money machine is running, you no longer live in work or no money mode. So what do you do with that free time? Not just sleep in or travel, though. Those are great too. You use it to focus on what truly creates the highest value: innovation and creativity, thinking strategically, developing new products or services, spotting breakthrough opportunities, learning and growth, expanding your skills, deepening your knowledge, exploring new fields, relationships, spending quality time with family, friends, partners, the people who make life rich, contribution, giving back, sharing knowledge, helping others, getting involved in causes you care about. When you free yourself from repetitive work, you become the architect of your life, not just a worker inside it. You can design the big picture and let your systems handle the details. Building systems is a journey, not a one-time event. It takes patience, strategic thinking, and sometimes the courage to let go. So start small. List 3 tasks you do daily or weekly that you could automate or delegate. Explore one platform for creating digital assets, for example. Learn how to build a simple online course. Read more about passive investing. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. Every process you automate, every task you delegate, every asset or investment you create is one more brick in your money machine. And once that machine is running, it doesn't just print money, it prints freedom and possibility. In the next chapter, we'll dive into how to identify and optimize your income streams, where to pour the fuel, so your machine runs as powerfully as possible. Don't miss it. Welcome back to the How to Make Money series, your guide to earning money in a smart, sustainable way. In the previous chapters, we've talked about financial mindset, money-making skills, and the power of investing. But today, we're diving into a type of asset you can't see, with your eyes, can't hold in your hands, and can't lock away in a safe. Yet its value can surpass every number in your bank account. That asset is social capital. And to begin, I want to highlight a quote that has guided countless successful people. Your network is your net worth. Sounds a bit exaggerated, right? But trust me. By the end of this chapter, you'll see that line in a completely different light. 1. The art of building genuine relationships. The give first principle. When people hear the word network, they often think of awkward social events, exchanging business cards, or transactional, you help me, I help you relationships. But that's not the kind of social capital we're talking about here. What we want to build are genuine relationships rooted in trust and real value. And the key to doing that is simple authenticity. The golden rule is give first. I know it feels backwards. You're trying to make money, so why would you start by giving something away? Think of a relationship like a garden. You can't just show up expecting to harvest fruit if you never planted seeds, watered the soil, or cared for it. If you only reach out to someone when you need something, that relationship is guaranteed to wither. So what does giving actually look like? Give knowledge. Share something useful they might not know. Give connections. Introduce two people who may benefit from each other. Give time, listen, offer genuine advice when asked. Give support, encourage them when they struggle, or celebrate their wins. Give care. A quick check-in, a happy birthday message remembering meaningful milestones. When you offer value without expecting anything in return, you plant seeds of trust. People feel your sincerity, and when opportunities arise, guess who they think of? I've always believed in this simple truth of the universe. What you give comes back to you, maybe not from the same person, maybe not immediately, but always in some form at some time. So start by asking, what can I do for this person instead of what can this person do for me? 2. The power of mentors and mastermind groups. Your network isn't just made up of acquaintances. It also includes pillars who can lift you to higher levels. 2 of the most powerful components are mentors and mastermind groups. Mentors are people who've walked the path before you. They face the challenges you're facing now and achieve the results you want. A good mentor doesn't just give advice, they illuminate the way forward, help you avoid costly mistakes, and inspire you to keep going. Early in my entrepreneurial journey, I had a mentor. He didn't give me money and he didn't find clients for me. But whenever I hit a dead end, he would ask a few thoughtful questions, offer a fresh perspective. And suddenly, the solution became clear. That kind of value can't be measured in dollars. How do you find a mentor? Look for people you admire, people with experience in the field you want to grow in. Approach them sincerely. Share your admiration and express your desire to learn. Show them you're someone worth investing their time in. Mastermind groups. Sounds a bit more pro, doesn't it? A mastermind group is a small circle of like-minded individuals who meet regularly to share ideas, challenge each other, and solve problems together. The power of a mastermind lies in collective intelligence and accountability. Imagine facing a hard business problem alone. Now imagine bringing it to a group of 5 but 7 driven peers. Suddenly you have multiple perspectives, creative solutions, and most importantly, people who will check in next week and ask, "So what did you do about it?" This positive pressure pushes you to take action. Masterminds aren't for complaining. They're for progressing. Many millionaires and billionaires use mastermind groups as a core part of their growth strategy. You can join one or build your own with people you trust and share a vision with. 3. Case study million-dollar deals born from coffee conversations. Believe it or not, many million-dollar deals and life-changing opportunities don't start in formal boardrooms or cold negotiation tables. They begin in casual coffee chats, unexpected lunch conversations, or even a simple walk in the park. Let's look at the story of David, a fictional name. David was a talented software developer with a groundbreaking idea for an educational app, but he lacked capital and business experience. One afternoon, he attended a local tech meetup. During a break, he happened to sit next to a woman named Maria, an angel investor. They started talking about their passions, not pitching, just talking. David shared his idea with authentic excitement. Maria immediately sensed the potential. She asked thoughtful questions and listened with genuine interest. Their conversation lasted longer than either expected. A few days later, Maria reached out to him. She introduced him to several investors in her network. The result: David raised funding for his startup not through a formal pitch deck, but through a sincere conversation over coffee. The lesson: social capital isn't about how many business cards you hand out. It's about the quality of your connections and the meaningful conversations that open doors you never expected. Always stay open, always be willing to share, always listen. You never know, the person sitting across from you at a cafe or a random event might be the key to your next big breakthrough. 4. How to become a valuable connector in your network. It's not just about who you know, it's about what you can do with the network you have. To transform social capital into real value, you need to become a connector, the kind of person people think of when they need help or need to meet the right person. How do you become a connector? Listen and understand needs. Don't listen just so you can respond. Listen to understand what they're working on, what challenges they face, and what they're looking for. Remember details. Take notes if needed. Interests, goals, current projects. It shows respect and helps you connect people meaningfully. Think in connections. Constantly ask yourself, who do I know that could help this person, or who would they collaborate well with? Make introductions proactively. When you see a good match, introduce them. Explain why you think they should connect to give context and help the conversation flow. Here's a small example. One friend of yours is a marketing expert looking for clients. Another just opened a store and needs help with branding. You introduce them, and suddenly you've delivered value to two people at once without expecting anything in return. When you consistently connect help and support others, you build a powerful reputation. People trust you. They seek you out. You become a valuable resource in your network. And when you are valuable, opportunities naturally gravitate toward you. You don't chase them, they come to you. Social capital isn't a cost, it's an investment. An investment in people in trust and in relationships that can generate infinite value. It won't just help you make money, it will enrich your life in ways far beyond finances. So start today. Look around. Who can you help? Who can you connect? Who can you learn from? Nurture your relationships with sincerity, care, and a spirit of generosity. Because your greatest asset in the end isn't in your bank account, it's in the hearts and minds of the people you've touched. Thank you for listening. See you in the next chapter of How to Make Money. Have you ever wondered why some people work incredibly hard day and night, yet their financial results still don't match their effort? While others don't seem to grind as much, still have time for themselves, their families, their hobbies, and somehow their wealth keeps growing steadily. I used to be someone who believed in the mantra, the more hours you work, the more money you make. I threw myself into work like a moth to a flame, sleeping less, eating on the go, ignoring everything else. The result? Sure. I made some money. But along with it came exhaustion, mental burnout, and a lot of bad financial decisions made with a foggy brain. The book, How to Make Money, gave me a completely new perspective. True prosperity doesn't come from working more hours, but from working smarter by managing your physical and mental energy. Think about it, time is a limited resource, and it's perfectly fair. We all get the same 24 hours a day. No one has more, no one has less. But what if I told you that the quality of those hours is what actually determines your wealth? And that quality is defined by your energy level. The 4 core energy sources, the foundation of sustainable wealth. This book introduces a comprehensive energy framework built on 4 main pillars. You need to nurture all 4 if you want to perform at your best and build long-term prosperity. 1. Physical energy. This is the foundation. Your body is the vehicle that allows you to do everything. Just like a car needs good fuel and regular maintenance, your body needs proper nutrition, enough rest, and regular movement. When your physical energy runs low, you feel sluggish, unfocused, and more likely to make poor financial decisions. You might miss opportunities because you're too tired to research, or you might spend impulsively to reward yourself after a long, exhausting day. 2. Emotional energy. This is your ability to manage and regulate your emotions. Are you flexible? Can you handle failure without falling apart? In the volatile world of money and investing, emotional energy is crucial. Optimism, resilience. The ability to tolerate stress and disappointment, all of that comes from emotional energy. When you're emotionally charged in a positive way, you evaluate risk more clearly and make decisions based on reason, not fear or short-lived excitement. 3. Mental energy. This is your focus, creativity, and problem-solving ability. It's your brain power. How long can you concentrate on a complex task? Do you get distracted easily? Can you come up with new ideas to make money? Mental energy is the fuel for your thinking. When it's depleted, you struggle to focus, you make more mistakes, and your ability to make sound strategic decisions drops, which directly impacts your ability to analyze markets or build solid business plans. 4. Spiritual energy, sense of purpose. This isn't about religion. It's about your sense of purpose, values, and the meaning behind your work. Why do you get up every morning and do what you do? When you have a clear purpose, a bigger why behind making money, your energy gets refueled in a powerful way. You find passion, commitment, and the strength to push through difficulties more easily. This protects you from burnout that comes from working without direction and keeps your inner fire burning as you pursue long-term financial goals. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise. The silent financial decisions. Now let's go deeper into the physical pillar because it's the base for everything else. Have you noticed how, when you're sleep-deprived, you're more irritable, less focused, and more likely to make bad choices? That doesn't just apply to your personal life. It directly impacts your finances too. Sleep. Sleep is your charging time for both your body and mind. A full night's sleep, 7 hours for most adults, boosts your memory, focus, creativity, and emotional control. When you're sleep-deprived, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, planning, and decision-making, functions poorly. You're more likely to make impulsive financial decisions, overlook important details, or miss opportunities because your mind isn't sharp enough. Treat sleep as one of the smartest investments in your personal money-making machine. Nutrition. What you eat is the fuel for your body and brain. A healthy, balanced, nutrient-rich diet helps you maintain steady energy instead of crashing halfway through the day. On the other hand, too much sugar and processed food doesn't just harm your health, it also causes brain fog, making it harder to focus and think clearly. Now imagine trying to read an important contract or analyze a complex financial report with a heavy, sluggish brain after overeating junk food. Do you really think you'll make the best decision? Exercise. Exercise isn't just for your muscles, it's a miracle drug for your brain. Regular movement increases blood flow to the brain, releases endorphins, which reduce stress and improve mood and boosts cognitive function. It helps you decompress after stressful work and return with a clearer mind and fresher ideas. And the best part, it's a low-cost habit with huge financial returns through improved performance and better decision-making. Working in cycles, sprint and rest, the key to peak performance. So how do we use our energy effectively without burning it out? The secret is to work in cycles, or what some people call sprint and rest. Think of sprinters and marathon runners. No one runs an entire marathon at sprint speed. They'd collapse in minutes. Instead, they pace themselves, conserve energy, and use bursts strategically. Our brains and bodies work the same way. We're not built to focus intensely for 8 to 10 hours straight. The sprint and rest approach encourages you to work with deep focus on a specific task for a short period, say 45 to 90 minutes, then take a complete break for a shorter period, 10 to 20 minutes. During the sprint, you eliminate distractions and pour all your attention and energy into the task. During the rest, you actually rest, walk around, drink water, look out the window, breathe, not scroll social media or check email. Benefits. Stronger focus. It's easier to dive in when you know you only have to maintain intense focus for a limited time. Higher quality work. When you work at full energy, your output is sharper and more effective. Prevents burnout breaks, lets you recharge before exhaustion builds up. Boosts creativity. Some of your best ideas show up between work sessions when your mind is relaxed. I've used this method a lot when writing video scripts. Instead of forcing myself to write for 4 or 5 hours straight, I break it into 60-minute sprints, then get up, walk around, or make tea. The result, I write faster, make fewer mistakes, and get more creative ideas. Burnout, wealth's #1 enemy. This brings us to a critical point. Why is burnout the #1 enemy of wealth? Burnout isn't just being tired. It's a prolonged state of physical and mental depletion caused by chronic stress. When you're burned out, you experience severely impaired decision-making. You can't process information, logically assess risk properly, or recognize good opportunities. You're more likely to make bad financial moves that lead to losses or missed chances. Loss of motivation and creativity. You don't feel like starting new projects, solving problems, or staying consistent with your long-term goals. Damaged relationships. Burnout can make you irritable, easily angered, and emotionally unavailable, hurting your personal and professional relationships, which are critical for building networks and opportunities. Health problems. Chronic stress leads to physical and mental health issues, which cost money, time, and energy to recover from slowing down or even derailing your wealth-building journey. I've seen so many talented, driven people burn out because they didn't know how to manage their energy. They lost their sharpness, their drive, and ultimately, their chances to build real wealth. Working hard is good. Working smart and sustainably is essential. The core message: manage energy, not just time. So the main message of Chapter 6 in How to Make Money is this. To truly become prosperous, you have to shift your focus from time management to energy management. Treat your energy as your most precious asset, your ultimate investment capital for your career and your finances. Start today with one small change. Go to bed early and get a full night's sleep. Plan a healthier meal. Try working in 45-minute focus blocks with 15-minute breaks. When you take care of your 4 energy sources, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual purpose, you'll see a dramatic improvement in your ability to make money, make smart financial decisions, build sustainable wealth. Don't let burnout steal your financial future. Be wise. Manage your energy the way a great CEO manages a company's assets. I'll see you in the next chapter, where we'll explore another powerful dimension of the wealth-building journey. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Welcome back to the How to Make Money series. In the previous chapters, we explored different ways to increase your income, from building skills, spotting opportunities, to creating passive income streams. But today we're diving into a topic that is equally important as making money, keeping your money, and growing it. It sounds simple, but the truth is, many people are great at earning money, yet terrible at keeping it. Worse, some let their money quietly erode over time without even realizing it. So in Chapter 7, Understanding the Flow of Money, we're going to break down the most foundational concepts in personal finance, so your money doesn't just arrive, but stays, grows, and works for you. Think of this chapter as a guide to redefining your relationship with money. 1. Asset or liability: where is your money actually going? Have you ever wondered why some people keep getting richer while others struggle? Paycheck to paycheck, even when their incomes aren't all that different. One core difference lies in how they understand and act on the concept of assets versus liabilities. Remember this golden rule, one I wish I had learned much earlier. Assets put money into your pocket. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. Simple, right? But let's make it even clearer. What counts as assets? Stocks, bonds. They can increase in value and pay dividends or interest. Rental property. A home you rent out gives you monthly cash flow. Your own business, a shop, a YouTube channel, an online course, anything that generates income. Knowledge and skills. These are invisible assets, but they help you earn money. So yes, they're assets too. And what about liabilities? That luxury car you just bought? Unless you use it to run a profitable business, it's draining money through gas, insurance, maintenance, and rapid depreciation. The house you're living in, if you still owe the bank, controversial, but if you're paying a mortgage every month, it's taking money out of your pocket at least until the debt is gone, and it gains real value. Designer items and tech gadgets you don't need. They bring short-term joy, but instantly lose value. High-interest credit card debt. This is a financial black hole. When I was younger, I thought owning a nice car was an asset. Later, I realized it was just a money pit. Understanding the difference is the first step to shifting your mindset from collecting liabilities to accumulating assets. Always ask yourself, will this put money into my pocket or pull money out? 2. Simple yet powerful budgeting, the 50-30-20 rule. When people hear budgeting, they immediately feel overwhelmed. Imagine me saying this in a friendly tone with a small laugh. Don't worry, no complicated spreadsheets today. I want to introduce a simple and highly effective method perfect for most people. The 50-30-20 rule. It divides your after-tax income into 3 categories. 50% needs. These are essentials you cannot live without. Examples: rent, mortgage, basic food, transportation, utilities, electricity, water, internet, health insurance. Keep this under 50%. If it exceeds that, you may need to adjust your lifestyle or look for ways to increase income. 30% wants the things that make life enjoyable, but you can live without. Examples: dining out, movies, shopping for non-essentials, entertainment and subscription, travel, upgrading gadgets. This is where you enjoy your earnings, but within limits. 20% savings and debt repayment. This is the category that shapes your financial future. Examples: emergency fund, investment, stocks, mutual funds, real estate, paying off high-interest debts faster. In short, 20% goes toward your future self. The 50-30-20 framework isn't rigid. You can adjust the ratios. What matters is that you know where your money's going. Try it for a few months. You'll be surprised how much control you gain. 3. The silent enemy and the powerful friend. Inflation and compound interest. Have you noticed how the same item costs one amount today and a completely different amount next year? Or how a bowl of po that used to be 20,000 VND is now 40,000, 50,000. That's inflation at work. What is inflation? It's the gradual increase in prices and the gradual decrease in your money's purchasing power. Meaning 100,000 VND today buys less than 100,000 VND from 5 years ago. If your money just sits under your mattress or in a zero-interest account, it's losing value every day. Inflation is the silent enemy of your wealth. But don't worry. We have a powerful friend: compound interest. What is compound interest? Albert Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world. It's the interest you earn on both your original money and the interest you earned earlier. Let's simplify. You deposit 10 million VND at 10% interest per year. Year 1. Interest is over 1 million. Total is under 11 million. Year 2. Interest earned on 11 million. Wasser 1.1 million. Total 12.1 million. Year 3, interest on 12.1 million, and so on. It's like rolling a tiny snowball down a hill that grows bigger and faster. The magic of compound interest becomes massive over 10, 20, 30 years. And the secret ingredient is time. Start early, even with a small amount, and let time work its magic. 4. The unbreakable rule: pay yourself first. After understanding assets, liabilities, budgeting, inflation, and compound interest, we arrive at one of the most important wealth-building principles: pay yourself first. This means every time you receive income, salary, bonus, business revenue, take a portion and save or invest it immediately, before paying any bills, before shopping, before entertainment. Why is this so powerful? You prioritize your future self. Instead of saving what's left, you ensure money goes toward your goals first. You avoid the spending trap. Money that's tucked away in savings or investments is harder to spend impulsively. You build strong habits. Saving and investing become automatic parts of your life. You activate compound interest. Consistent contributions make compound growth explosive over time. How to apply it? Automate it. Set an automatic transfer from your salary account to your savings or investment account on payday. 10%, 15%, or ideally 20% as suggested by the 50-30-20 rule. Treat this amount as a non-negotiable bill you pay to your future self. You deserve it. Final thoughts. So today, we covered essential but incredibly powerful personal finance principles. Understanding assets versus liabilities, using the 50-30-20 rule, recognizing inflation and leveraging compound interest, applying the golden rule. Pay yourself first. Remember, making money is just the beginning. Keeping it and multiplying it, that's how you achieve true financial freedom and long-lasting prosperity. These ideas aren't just theory, they're tools. But they only work when you put them into practice consistently. Start today, even with the smallest step. Imagine the version of you 10 years from now. They'll be incredibly grateful for the decisions you make today. Thank you for joining me in Chapter 7. Stay tuned for even more exciting content in the next chapters of How to Make Money. Welcome to WealthRise Stories, where we decode the mysteries of life together, especially the ones called money and success. In previous chapters, we've talked about mindset strategy and taking action to create value. But there's one aspect most people don't like to mention, a word many try to avoid, like the plague failure. Sounds a little backwards, doesn't it? We're talking about how to make money, and now I'm bringing up failure. But I'm convinced of this. If you truly want to take control of your financial journey, you have to learn how to face failure and even use it to your advantage. That's why today we have Chapter 8, Fail Like a Scientist. The goal of this chapter is very clear. I want us to normalize failure, see it as an essential part of the path to success, and more importantly, learn how to fail intelligently so that every fall pushes us further forward. Let's start with a few stories you've probably heard before, but this time we'll look at them through a completely different lens. You've heard of Thomas Edison, right? The man who invented the incandescent light bulb. A genius. But how many times did he fail before that bright light finally appeared? People say he tried over 10,000 different materials for the filament before finding one that worked. 10,000 times. If it were us, would we still be going after 10 tries, 100 tries? He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." To him, every doesn't work was valuable data. Or take Steve Jobs, a symbol of creativity and success. But people often forget he was once fired from Apple, the very company he founded. It could have been the end of his legendary career. But that push out the door led him to create Next, Computer, and Pixar, and eventually come back to Apple this time to save it from collapse and turn it into one of the most valuable companies in the world. What looked like a career-ending failure was actually the catalyst for reinvention. And what about Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon? You might think a giant like Amazon doesn't fail. You'd be wrong. Remember the Fire Phone? A smartphone Amazon poured hundreds of millions into hoping to compete with the iPhone. It flopped hard. It's one of the biggest product failures in Amazon's history. But what happened after that? Amazon kept growing. They kept experimenting: Alexa, Kindle, AWS, cloud services, and more. Bezos and his team understood that failures weren't dead ends. They were expensive lessons that helped refine their strategy and deepen their understanding of the market and their users. These stories aren't just about perseverance. They're about a mindset. These people were not just failing. They were experimenting. They approached life like scientists, testing, observing, learning, adjusting. So how do we normal people on our own journey to earn and build wealth apply this scientist mindset to our lives? Step 1. Change how you see failure. When failure shows up, what's our natural reaction? Shame, guilt, self-blame. I'm useless. I can't do anything right. We merge failure with identity. Failure becomes who we are. But what if we change the lens? Imagine a scientist in a lab. When an experiment doesn't work, do they sit in a corner and cry, "I'm such a loser"? Or do they check each step, each ingredient, each variable, carefully writing everything down and asking, "What happened here? What is this data telling me?" That's the key. Failure is not who you are. It's just data. It doesn't define your worth. It's feedback from reality, a signpost telling you, "This path doesn't work. Try another." It's like knocking on a door that doesn't open. You don't stand there beating yourself up. You try another door or go look for a key. Learn to separate your emotions from the objective result. Failure is a result of an action or a strategy. It's not a verdict on your character. Once you do that, the emotional weight drops. You become more willing to learn and move forward. Step 2. Create your own experiment fund. So how do we bring this scientific mindset into the practical world of making money? I want to introduce a concept I call your experiment fund. This isn't about gambling or dumping money into random get-rich-quick schemes. This is a portion of your budget time and even mental energy that you intentionally allocate to testing new ideas, new approaches in your work, business, or investments. Think of it like your personal R&D research and development department. Big companies spend billions on R&D. Not every project wins, but the few that do often pay for all the failures and push the company forward. You can do something similar on a smaller scale. Set aside a small percentage of your income to invest in a new course, tool, or marketing method. Set aside a few hours each week to experiment with a side hustle. Write a blog, create content, or practice a new skill. Allocate a small test budget to try a low-risk online business idea or ad campaign. The important part is this. You clearly define, this is money time I'm willing to lose in exchange for learning and experimentation. You decide in advance how much you can afford to risk without jeopardizing your core finances or your life stability. Once you have an experiment fund, your fear of failure drops. You allow yourself to try knowing that even if the attempt fails, you've paid for education, not destruction. Each experiment that doesn't work isn't a failure. It's tuition. Step 3. The 3-step process after every failure. Accept, analyze, adapt. When an experiment doesn't go as planned, here's where our 3-step process kicks in. 1. Accept. First and hardest step. Accept your emotions. It's normal to feel disappointed, sad, even angry. Don't suppress it. Don't fake it. Let yourself feel it, but not forever. Set a time box. I'll let myself be upset for 24 hours. After that, I get back up. Accept what happened. No denial, no blaming, no running away. 2. Analyze. Now it's time to put on the lab coat. Return to the situation with a clear, objective mind. Instead of asking, why am I so stupid? Ask, what exactly happened? Describe the event factually without judgment. Why did it happen? Was it lack of knowledge, lack of skill? Misreading the market, external factors. What data did I ignore? Which of my assumptions were wrong? What did I actually do? Well, yes, even in failure, there are usually things you did right. Write it all down. Turn failure into a research report. This becomes one of your most valuable assets from the experience. 3. Adapt. This is where growth happens. Based on your analysis, ask, what will I change next time? What new skill do I need to learn? What additional information do I need? What's my next step? It might be a smaller test, a slightly different strategy, or even a new direction entirely. Adapting doesn't mean quitting. It means using information to find a better way forward. At the end of the day, failure isn't a wall, it's a staircase. Every time you fail intelligently by accepting, analyzing, and adapting, you learn something new, eliminate a wrong path, move one step closer to the right one. The journey of making money and building a career isn't a straight, smooth highway. It's more like a massive scientific experiment. We keep making hypotheses, keep testing, keep learning from every result, good or bad. Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of not learning from your mistakes. Step out of that fear. Build your experiment fund. Turn every failure into valuable data on your path to financial success. Because failure isn't the end, it's a launch pad. A crucial step that makes you stronger, wiser, and ultimately more successful. Thank you for listening. Remember, every time you fail like a scientist, you move one step closer to success. And in the next chapter, we'll dive even deeper into Today we're diving into a topic that might sound unrelated to money at first, but is actually the backbone of every value-creating activity, every successful transaction, the art of storytelling and selling. When people hear selling, many of us tend to cringe a little or think of pushy salespeople who exaggerate everything. But look a bit deeper. At the end of the day, every money-making activity involves selling. You sell an idea to your coworkers in a meeting, you sell trust to potential clients, you sell your services to a company, and you even sell yourself in a job interview to land your dream job. Without the ability to persuade, connect, and communicate value, even the best product or service may never reach the person who needs it. And here's the interesting part. The most powerful tool in selling and persuading and connecting is storytelling. In this chapter, we're going to break down that extraordinary power. Let's start with a simple question. Why do we buy the newest smartphone when the old one works fine? Why do we spend money on a nice shirt even though our closet is full? Most of these decisions, no matter how hard we try to justify them with logic, are driven by emotion. Science has shown that humans are emotional creatures. The heart makes the decision, and the brain comes in afterward to justify it. We buy things because they make us feel like we belong, feel desired, feel safe, feel admired, or because they calm some quiet anxiety inside us. Logic is just the packaging we use to explain our emotional choices to others and to ourselves. A great story taps into those hidden desires, fears, and unfulfilled dreams. It doesn't just deliver information, it triggers emotion, creates empathy, and forges connection at a depth that numbers and data alone could never reach. When you tell a story, you're not just talking about a product. You're talking about an experience, a solution, a better version of someone's life that the product helps create. So how do you tell a story that's truly compelling and persuasive? Luckily, every great story from ancient epics to the most successful modern marketing campaigns follows the same simple framework. You can break it down into three core elements: the hero, the challenge, and the transformation. 1. The hero. In sales, the hero isn't always you or your company. Most of the time, the hero is your customer or a character your customer can easily see themselves in. This hero has dreams, goals, and a problem that needs solving. 2. The challenge. This is the pain point, the frustration, the obstacle standing between the hero and their goal. It has to be relatable. It has to be big enough and real enough that the listener feels it or recognizes it as their own problem. 3. The transformation. This is the most important part. It's how your product, service, or idea helps the hero overcome the challenge and reach a better version of their life. It's not just a feature or a function. It's the positive change, the tangible outcome, the brighter future they can imagine. For example, imagine you're selling a project management software. Your story might look like this. The hero, Nam, is a young entrepreneur with big ambitions, but he's drowning in endless emails, back-to-back meetings, and a never-ending to-do list. He's exhausted, can't sleep, and constantly worries about missing important opportunities. The challenge. Every day, he feels like he's sinking deeper into the chaos. He knows he needs a change, but has no idea where to start. The transformation. Then, he discovers our software. With its intuitive interface and smart features, he reorganizes everything in just a few days. Now, Nam gets more done, has time for his family and hobbies, and feels in control again, both at work and in life. See that we're not just talking about the task organizing feature. We're telling a story about transformation from burnout to success and peace of mind. Now let's break a common misconception. Selling is not manipulation, and it's not about forcing people to buy things they don't need. Real selling, especially in today's world, is simply helping customers solve their problems. Think of it this way. You're not selling a drill. You're selling a perfect hole in the wall. You're not selling an English course. You're selling confidence, better career opportunities, and access to a bigger world of knowledge. When you see selling as helping, everything changes. Instead of pushing hard, you focus on understanding your customer's real problem and determining whether your product is truly the best solution. If it is, you're creating value. If it isn't, that's okay too. You saved everyone time and kept your integrity intact. Sincerity and genuine desire to help are what make a sales story truly trustworthy. When customers feel that you genuinely care about their challenges, they open up, they listen, they trust you. So how do you uncover their real problems? How do you tell a story that hits the right pain points and dreams? That's where the most important sales skill comes in: listening. It sounds obvious, right? But in reality, most people trying to sell or persuade spend the majority of their time talking, explaining, pitching, proving. We rush to offer solutions before we fully understand the problem. Listening isn't just hearing what the customer says, it's understanding what they don't say. The emotions, the fears, the worries beneath the surface. Ask questions. Open-ended questions that encourage them to share more. What's been troubling you most about this area lately? If you could change one thing right now, what would it be? What solutions have you tried so far, and how did they go? What's your long-term goal in this area? When you listen sincerely, you not only gather the insights needed to tell a powerful story, you build a relationship. Your customer feels respected, understood, and valued. And when that happens, the story you tell about how you help the hero or them overcome the challenge, their problem, to reach the transformation, their desired outcome hits 1,000 times harder. When I first started YouTube, I thought I had to talk a lot, sound smart, and use big fancy words. But I eventually realized that my most loved videos were the ones where I listened to your comments, questions, and worries. Those conversations helped me tell better stories that actually connected with you. In short, storytelling isn't just a skill for writers or filmmakers. It's the most powerful tool for connecting, persuading, creating value, and therefore earning money sustainably. Remember, people make decisions with emotion, then justify them with logic. Every great story has a hero, a challenge, and a transformation. Selling is simply helping customers solve their problems. And the most important selling skill is listening. Start practicing today. Observe how great salespeople tell stories and how they listen. Try applying this storytelling structure when you introduce yourself, pitch an idea, or present your product. I'm confident you'll notice a real difference. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into building a strong personal brand, one of the most subtle yet powerful forms of selling in the modern world. Don't miss it. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future content. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts on storytelling and selling. See you in the next video. We've talked about strategy tools, mindset, and breaking financial barriers. But today, we're taking a step back to look at the bigger picture. This isn't about how to make money anymore. This is about the meaning behind making it the real end goal of wealth. Welcome to Chapter 10. Holistic Wealth, the Circle of Balance. Let's redefine success not just as numbers in a bank account, but as a life that is truly full, meaningful, and whole. Money, a great tool, but a terrible master. Let's start with a truth we can't deny. Money is an amazing tool. It helps us turn dreams into reality, brings safety, opens doors of opportunity, and lets us do good things in this world. With money, you can provide for your family, invest in education, support those in need, or simply enjoy a good cup of coffee every morning without thinking twice. But, and this is a big, but money can also become a terrible master. How many times have we heard stories about people who chased money relentlessly, only to realize once they finally had it that they had lost far too much along the way? They might own huge houses, drive luxury cars, and yet feel lonely in their own home, or too busy to enjoy anything they've earned. Think of money like a sharp knife. In the hands of a skilled craftsman, it creates masterpieces. But in the hands of someone obsessed or controlled by it, that same knife can cause harm even to the person holding it. Our goal is not to let money become the ultimate destination. Our goal is to let it serve a deeper, more meaningful purpose. The ultimate question: what are you making money for connecting wealth to your life? Purpose. This is the question I want you to seriously reflect on. Not just answer casually, what are you making money for? It sounds simple, but your answer becomes the compass for your entire financial journey. It's not just about stacking up numbers or having more than someone else. This question must connect deeply with your life purpose. Are you making money to gain financial freedom and spend more time with your family? To pursue your passions, learn new skills, travel the world, to contribute to society? Fund schools help the less fortunate, or invest in meaningful projects? Or maybe you're earning money to build a peaceful life, where you don't have to stress about bills and you can fully embrace your personal interests. When you connect money with purpose, money stops being a burden or an obsession. It becomes a powerful vehicle that moves you toward what truly matters. Write down your answer. Review it often. It will be your anchor whenever you feel lost or exhausted on your financial path. True wealth: time, freedom, and health to enjoy what you earn. After all the effort, when you finally make the money you wanted, what then? This is when we must reflect honestly. Do you have enough time? Time to enjoy dinner with family, chat with friends, read a book, watch a sunset. Do you have enough freedom? Freedom to choose the work you love, to go where you want, to say no to things that drain you. And most importantly, do you have enough health to enjoy everything you've built, to jog in the morning, play with your kids, explore the world? I've seen too many young people work themselves to exhaustion, skipping meals, sacrificing sleep, ignoring their relationships just to make money. Then when they finally get the money, they have to spend it on medical bills, repairing relationships, or trying to buy back the moments they lost. Real wealth is not a full bank account paired with an empty life. Real wealth is having time, freedom, and health so you can actually enjoy what you've created. Building a legacy of value, not just material assets. And finally, when we talk about holistic wealth, we must talk about legacy. What do you want to leave behind in this world? Legacy isn't just houses, cars, or a big inheritance. Legacy is the values you lived by, the impact you made, the positive change you contributed to your community, to the people around you, and maybe even to future generations. It could be a business built with integrity and kindness, a charity project that brings hope to thousands, knowledge and experience passed down to others, or simply a life lived with honesty, compassion, and curiosity, inspiring everyone around you. This is where money and purpose intertwine most deeply. Money can be the engine that builds your legacy. It gives you the resources to invest in what you believe in, creating something meaningful that lasts beyond your lifetime. The conclusion: holistic wealth. The circle of balance. We've arrived at the end of this journey together. We've talked about money, time, freedom, health, relationships, purpose, and legacy. Picture all these elements as pieces of a circle. A balanced circle where each piece is nurtured and developed, instead of being dominated by just one. That's holistic wealth. That's true prosperity. A life where the circle is whole, not warped or lopsided. Real success isn't owning a supercar or a mansion if you have no one to share it with, or if you're too busy to enjoy it. Success is having the health to jog every morning, the time to read your kid a bedtime story, the financial stability to help others, and a peaceful, grounded mind. It's balance. It's living richly across all areas of your life. Vibrant health, strong relationships, mental clarity, emotional peace. And of course, financial stability to support it all. So as you continue your journey toward wealth, remember, money is only one piece of the puzzle. Redefine success for yourself. Let it be more than a number. Let it be a life that's truly rich, full, and balanced. Thank you for listening. Let's build a life together where we don't just earn money, we live fully. See you in the next videos. After all these episodes, exploring the philosophies and golden principles of how to make money, I know your mind is probably overflowing with new ideas and breakthrough perspectives. But then the timeless question appears again. How do I actually turn all of this good stuff into real action? Right. Honestly, knowledge only becomes truly valuable when it's applied. And I get it, sometimes starting is the hardest part. We feel overwhelmed staring at this long journey ahead. So in this special section, I want to give you a gift, a 7-day action plan to get started. This is not some magic formula that will make you rich overnight. It's a set of small, doable steps designed to help you kickstart your transformation journey immediately to turn everything we talked about into the first bricks of the financial future you want. Grab a notebook, a pen, and an open mind. We're starting right now. Days 1 and 2. Expose your inner barriers and discover your core value. This might sound a little spiritual at first, but trust me, this is the most important step. First, reflect and write down 3 limiting beliefs you have about money. Money isn't just numbers in an account. It's also made of beliefs, stories, and assumptions we've absorbed from family, society, and past experiences. Ask yourself, do you believe money is the root of all evil? Have you ever thought rich people are greedy and selfish? Do you feel I'm not good enough to make a lot of money? Or simply, making money is really hard. You always have to sacrifice something big. Take some quiet time. Be honest with yourself. Don't judge or criticize yourself, just observe. Write down the first 3 beliefs that pop into your head when you think about money and wealth that carry a negative or limiting feeling. For example, one of mine used to be, I'm not good at business. If I try anything related to money, I'll definitely fail. Sound familiar? Recognizing these beliefs is the first step in removing them. You can't fix a problem you don't know exists. Second, identify one core value you want to bring to the world. This sounds big, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Ask yourself, what truly matters to you? When you make money, what do you want that money to serve? What kind of meaning do you want your life to have? Do you want to help others? Do you want to create a product or service that solves a specific problem? Do you want to bring more beauty, joy, or convenience into people's lives? Do you want to inspire others, share knowledge like what I'm doing with you right now? Write down one sentence, one idea about the value you want to contribute. This will become your North Star, your strongest motivation in the journey of making money. Because when you work for a value bigger than yourself, you tap into an endless source of energy. Days 3 and 4. Discover your personal assets and track your cash flow. Now that we've cleared some mental space, it's time to look at what you already have and where your money is going. First, make a list of 5 skills you have. Don't overthink this. Don't only think about big, fancy skills. Think about what you're genuinely good at, even if it seems small or obvious to you, so natural that you almost overlook it. Are you a good listener? Are you good at organizing things? Can you cook well? Are you good at communicating with people? Are you proficient with a certain software? Are you quick at solving problems? Can you write, tell stories, or edit videos? Write down 5 skills you feel most confident about. You may never have considered that these skills could make you money. But believe me, in today's world, almost any skill can be transformed into value. For example, being a great listener can make you an incredible coach or consultant. Second, create a simple personal budget. No, not a massive Excel sheet with 500 rows. Just something simple. Spend 15 minutes to List all your sources of income for the month: salary, side jobs, freelance work, small gigs, everything. List all your fixed monthly expenses: rent, mortgage, utilities, basic food, transportation, internet, phone. List your non-essential but regular expenses: coffee, eating out, entertainment, small shopping subscriptions. You don't need to go down to every last candy bar. The goal is to get a clear overview of where your money is going. A lot of people never really know how much they earn versus how much they spend or what they spend it on. This exercise helps you spot leaks and unnecessary spending you never noticed before. Clarity around your finances is the foundation for taking control of them. Days 5 and 6. Expand your perspective and deepen your knowledge. We've done the inner work and gained some clarity on our personal finances. Now it's time to look outward. First, reach out and talk to one person you admire. This is a powerful step outside your comfort zone exercise. Think of someone you genuinely admire. It could be a friend, a colleague, a relative, or even someone you follow online who has achieved something you aspire to. The goal is not to ask for a job or ask for money. The goal is to learn. You can send them a polite message. Tell them you admire their journey. Ask if they'd be willing to spare 15, 20 minutes to share some advice. Prepare 2 to 3 specific questions like, what was the hardest part when you first started? If you could give one piece of advice to someone like me just starting out, what would it be? Don't be shy. Most people are surprisingly willing to share if you're respectful and sincere. This will open you up to new perspectives and real-world lessons that no book can give you, and it helps you start building relationships, which are priceless assets in any journey. Second, spend 1 hour learning something new. Anything. It doesn't have to be a big course or a complicated skill. You could watch a YouTube tutorial on how to cook a new dish, read an in-depth article on a topic you're curious about, learn a few new English phrases, explore a digital tool you've never used before. The goal is to build the habit of continuous learning. Even just 1 focused hour learning something small switches your brain into growth mode, expands your capacity, and proves to yourself that you can learn. You can grow. Curiosity and the desire to learn are among the most powerful engines for adapting and making money in any situation. Day 7. Shape your future and commit to ongoing action. Congrats, you've made it to day 7 of this Kickstart plan. Today, we turn thoughts and reflections into an actual roadmap. First, write down your financial and life goals for the next 1 year. Make them specific. Financial goals. How much do you want to have in savings? How much do you want to be earning per month? Do you want to pay off a specific debt? Do you want to start investing? If yes, in what? Write down clear numbers and a clear timeline 1 year from today. Life goals. What new skill do you want to learn? Where would you like to travel? How do you want to improve your health? How much time do you want to spend with family and friends? Is there a personal project you want to start? Remember, money is just a tool to support your life goals. When you have both defined money and life, you'll feel a much stronger drive. Second, commit to 1 small daily action. This is the key to momentum. Once you have your 1-year goals, ask yourself, what is 1 tiny action I can take every day that moves me closer to these goals? Something so small, I can't make excuses not to do it. It could be reading 5 pages of a finance or self-development book, sending 1 email or message to connect with someone new, spending 15 minutes learning a new language, planning a healthy meal for the next day, or simply taking 5 minutes to tidy up your workspace. The magic is in consistency. 1 small action a day, multiplied by 365 days, creates a transformation you won't believe at first. It builds strong habits, trains your willpower, and keeps you moving forward. And that is our 7-day action plan to get started. I know it might seem simple, maybe even a little strange compared to what you usually think of when you hear how to make money. But believe me, these are the most solid, foundational steps to start your transformation journey. Clearing your mindset, understanding yourself, gaining clarity on your finances, connecting with others, learning continuously, setting goals, and taking small, consistent daily action. Remember, the journey of making money isn't just about accumulating assets. It's also about growing as a person, learning, connecting, and contributing value. You can do this. I believe in you. Start today. And don't forget to share your 7-day experience with me in the comments. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now that we've gone through quite a long journey together, breaking down the mindsets, the strategies, and even the common misconceptions about how to make money, I know there's a lot of information. It might even feel a bit overwhelming right now. But don't worry, that's exactly why I created this final part. To help you remember everything more easily, to capture the core messages, and more importantly, to lock them into your mind so you can apply them immediately in your life, I want to leave you with 3 golden keys. These are the foundational principles, so foundational that if you remembered only these 3, your financial journey would already be completely different. Think of these as the strongest bricks you'll use to build your own castle of wealth and prosperity. Are you ready? Let's dive into the 3 golden keys. Golden key number 1. Mindset comes first. Money follows. Wealth is an inside game. This is the very first and probably most important point we've repeated throughout this video. And honestly, it's the thing that transformed my own life the most. Money isn't just numbers in your bank account. It's a mirror reflecting your inner world, your beliefs about yourself, your sense of value, and how you see the world. Think about it. If you constantly operate from a place of scarcity, if you're always afraid there won't be enough, if you doubt your capabilities, how can you possibly recognize or seize the financial opportunities that are right in front of you? You can't. You can't plant the seeds of scarcity and expect to harvest abundance. For the longest time, I used to think that I needed to have enough money, enough assets before I could feel safe or wealthy. But eventually, I realized something crucial. Real safety, real wealth comes from a sense of inner abundance first. When you believe you're worthy of prosperity, when you recognize the unlimited potential in yourself and in the world, the doors of opportunity open naturally. It's like wearing colored glasses. If your lenses are tinted gray, the whole world looks gloomy. If your lenses are bright and hopeful, the world becomes full of a possibility. Your mindset is those glasses. If you see the world through scarcity, everything becomes a struggle. If you see it through abundance, opportunities appear everywhere. Start from the inside. Invest in your mind. Read, meditate, release limiting beliefs. Build a proactive, empowered attitude. When your inner world shifts, the outer world shifts too. Money stops being something you chase. It becomes something you attract through your value and your energy. Always remember, wealth is an inside game. You can't win externally until you've won internally. Golden key number 2. Create value, don't chase money. Become a problem solver. This second principle is deeply connected to the first. Once your mindset is aligned, the next step is action. But what kind of action? Most people, when they want to make money, focus on the money. How do I get it? How do I make it fast? How do I pull it into my pocket as quickly as possible? But that's a trap. Money is a result, a measurement, a reward for the value you contribute to the world. It is not the ultimate goal, it's the outcome. Just like sunlight follows the sunrise, money follows value. If you want more money, you have to create more value. It's that simple. And the best way to create value, become a problem solver. Look around you. Life is full of problems, frustrations, inefficiencies, unmet needs. Someone needs a better product. Someone needs a more convenient service. Someone needs help solving a specific pain point. When I was younger, I was impatient too. I wanted to make money fast. I tried everything from selling things I didn't even believe in to joining random projects just because they looked profitable. But the most sustainable success I've had always came when I focused on solving a specific problem for a specific group of people. For example, when I realized busy people had no time to read, I started creating book summaries. That solved a problem. When I noticed aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with personal branding, I created courses and content to help. That solved a problem too. You don't have to invent something world-changing. Sometimes value comes from small improvements, a smoother process, better customer service saving people time, reducing their stress, helping them achieve something faster. Stop asking, how can I make money? And start asking, whose problem can I solve? Who is struggling with something I can help with? When you focus on service, on contribution, on value, money naturally flows toward you. Be a creator of value, not a hunter of cash. Golden key number 3. Build systems and be consistent. Financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. We've talked about mindset. We've talked about value. Now comes the third and final key. How do you maintain and scale your success? The answer is simple: systems and consistency. I see a lot of young people today, and honestly, I used to be one of them who want results fast. What should I invest in for quick profit? How can I get rich overnight? I'm sorry to say it bluntly, but that mindset leads to disappointment, or worse, to scams and financial losses. Real, long-lasting financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, discipline, and long-term thinking. So what are systems? Systems are processes, structures, tools, or people that help you work efficiently, automate tasks, and allow your value to keep flowing even when you're not working 24/7. A system could be an automated savings and investment plan. Money moves into your savings or investment account automatically every month. A content creation system. You plan, film, edit, and publish on a schedule, not only when you feel inspired. A business system. Clear processes for sales, customer service, production, things that can run even without you doing every step manually. Money doesn't magically multiply on its own, but it can grow through the power of systems. A strong system becomes a machine, one that can generate passive or semi-passive income. It frees your time, scales your impact, and reduces human mistakes. And what fuels these systems? Consistency. There will be times when you feel discouraged. Times when results don't come as fast as you hoped. Markets will fluctuate. Customers will be difficult. Competitors will be strong. That's when consistency becomes your superpower. Keep showing up. Keep improving. Keep learning. Keep moving forward. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never stop when they fail. Be patient. Be committed. Trust the process. The rewards will come, they just need time. And those are the 3 golden keys I want to leave you with. Mindset first, money second. Wealth is an inside game. Create value, don't chase money. Become a problem solver. Build systems and stay consistent. Financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. These aren't mysterious secrets. They're timeless principles, proven over centuries by the most successful people in history. The only question is, will you believe in them? Will you apply them? Will you take action? Take time to reflect on these keys. Choose 1 or 2 that resonate with you the most and start taking action today. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions will never come. Start with what you have, with what you know, and trust your journey. Your financial journey is not just about how much money you make. It's about who you become along the way. I wish you luck, success, and endless growth. Hello, my friend, my companion, on this journey of discovery and creation. We've just walked through a pretty long stretch together, diving deep into the principles and core ideas from the book, How to Make Money. I hope that throughout this video, you didn't just learn something new, but also felt something, maybe a spark of energy, a gentle push to change, to take action. Because as we both know, knowledge only becomes valuable when it's turned into action, right? And now we've arrived at the most important part, the part that I believe will determine how far you go on this path. This isn't just another call to action. This is a call to action. The next chapter is written by you. You heard that right. You are the one holding the pen. You are the author of the next pages in your story of prosperity. I know that after watching a video like this, Your mind might be overflowing with ideas, plans, or maybe even a few worries. But the most important thing right now is not how many ideas you have, it's where you choose to begin. So here's the very first thing I want you to do. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. And think carefully. From everything we've talked about, everything that may have inspired you, comment below the first action you will take after watching this video. Maybe it's creating a simple personal budget. Maybe it's researching a business idea you've been curious about. Or maybe it's as simple as committing to read one personal finance book per month. No action is too small. What matters is that you start. Share it with me. Share it with our community. Because when you say it out loud, you turn a thought into a commitment. And that is the strongest foundation for real change. Oh, speaking of community, walking alone is fine. But walking together? That's how we go far, right? The journey toward a prosperous, financially free life is a long one. And I don't want you to walk it alone. If you want to continue this journey with me and with our community, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any valuable videos in the future videos that will keep guiding you, supporting you, and helping you build the life you've always dreamed of. That is my promise to you. And here's something else I truly believe. In the power of sharing. If you found value in this video, if something here helped you think about this, is there someone out there who's also struggling? Someone searching for direction, for clarity, for a spark of motivation. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, someone you know who could use a little light right now. Don't hesitate to share this video with them. You're not just sharing content, you're planting a seed of change, a seed of prosperity. You're becoming part of the solution, a person who brings value to the people around them. And remember, my friend, making money isn't just a formula, it's a journey. And that journey only truly begins when you dare to take action. I know starting can feel hard. It can feel scary. But as the old saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Don't wait, don't hesitate. That first step, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, is the most important step of all. It is your declaration to the universe. It is your promise to yourself that you deserve a better life, and you are ready to work for it. I believe in you. Start writing the next chapter of your prosperity story. Start it right now. See you in the next videos. Goodbye for now.